my god. You guys. I fucking love Gantz. But I hate it at the same time. I hate how this volume made me feel. I was going to do 2 volumes in one, but there was just, this volume had too much emotional weight that I just could not, I couldn't bring myself to read the next one and do like a double review, because I feel like what happened in this one really deserves its own individual discussion. And I just cannot believe what Gantz has done and made me feel throughout the experience of reading it, but more particularly during this final arc. I don't understand, maybe the ending will be so catastrophically bad that I will change my opinion once I get there after I read 3 more volumes, but I don't understand the criticism for this final arc. Now, I have criticism about Gantz as a whole, as a complete series, but I'll get into that another time. But this final arc of Gantz is fucking amazing. It's incredible. I love it. I love what's happening. I think the stakes are raised to a perfect place where they should be. Everything has advanced in a very consistent way, and where the characters are right now emotionally during this crisis that's happening, I feel for all of them. Now, there are some characters that aren't touched on as much as I would like them to, but the characters that are, Kurono, Hiroto here, Rika, and Tai, I am just so, like, overwhelmed with the experiences that they are having, and I'm feeling it. Everything Tai went through in the last volume, you know, running all over this fucking alien ship trying to find Kurono, everything Kurono has been through. But more particularly, what I want to talk about in this video is the fact that Gantz has made me so invested in 2 relationships involving the same character. Because as we know, Kurono, our main character, was brought back to life, generally, but then brought back to life again by Rika after she received the 100 points. So there are 2 Kuronos in this series now. And instead of the series just focusing on one, or like the main one that we've been focusing, but of course with Gantz, there's again the theory that every single time they are copied and brought back through Gantz, that it's a completely new version. So there could have been dozens upon dozens of Kuronos through the entire series, but just going off the idea of following the narrative, the main Kurono is the one that's searching after Tai inside the ship. But the other Kurono is the one that is with the Gantz team and in a relationship with Rika. And the fact that this Kurono they are the same person. They would react the same way to the same situations. And the fact that Gantz was able to actually have its main character in 2 different locations at the same time, and have both those characters pull the plot along and pull the emotional weight of the scene along, just as if there was one version in that scene, is nothing short but incredible. I just absolutely love how Oka, the mangaka, was able to do this with its characters, was able to create a clone or a copy or a second version of the main character and not just throw it off into the dust, and not just let it become like an oh whatever character, or not just let it be killed off because it's the second Kurono, but actually treated it just as passionately as he treated the other one. We have a main character of the series, but we have two of him. Not even 2 versions, but just 2 of him, the same person, in different locations. It's just like, it's amazing, it's incredible. And the fact that this volume starts off with the reunion of Kurono and Tai aboard the ship, and I was like, I didn't even want to read any further because I was just so happy to see them together. I was so happy to see them in each other's arms and crying together and just being together. And you know, people say Gantz is all about the gore and nudity, and yes, Gantz thrives in those areas, but what makes it matter, what makes it count, are moments like this. Moments where Kurono and Tai meet up again and are in each other's arms. The relationship between these characters. Now, look, I don't think Oku is necessarily the greatest writer of all time or anything like that. I don't think he particularly handles character interactions the best that they could possibly be done. But you can tell that he put a lot of care into how these characters feel about each other, and in the way he draws them, because Gantz, I've always said, is a very visual manga, more so than it is story and dialogue, and the way he makes his characters break down and feel those emotions flow through them and everything like that, you feel what's happening with their body language and their emotions, you know, what could have been done through dialogue if another writer was in his place, but this is just the way that he does things. So I was ecstatic, and all I could think about at the time while reading that was the Kurono and Tai relationship. I was just like so amazed at what was happening, and it made me like so invested in Kurono and Tai that when this volume shifts to the other Kurono and we see him with Rika, I was just like, my mind was blown at the fact that I care just as much about Rika and Kurono as I do about Tai and Kurono. I feel the same, like it's the same character, and he relates to these two girls in different ways, but they are both such important relationships for who he is as a person. And I just was like, wow, you made me go from Tai and Kurono over here to completely shifting my point of view to Tai and Rika over here, to the point where it's like you don't even know who is best for him, you know? And that's the thing, is like there's no right answer there. They both are valid, important relationships, and it's crazy that we can have both at once. But as Gantz often does, and in this volume, it gets ripped to fucking shreds. Okay, first of all, Kurono gets transported away by whoever is controlling Gantz, whoever on Earth is the ruling power. This is the theory that I'm going with, that there is this kind of ruling class, this elite, this cabal of Gantz that has been defending the Earth from alien invasions because they don't want to be taken over. That's what I'm going with. We're going to see how it all shapes out at the end of Gantz, but that's the theory I'm going with. So it has transported Kurono into this giant freaking Gundam mech, and there's like a whole legion of them, a whole army of them, basically. And also in one of these giant mechs is Hiroto, the psychic kid, who has just gone off the rails, gone off the deep end. He is in a fit of depression, and he is just going to kill all the aliens. That's all he cares about right now. And I'll get to him again in just a moment. So Kurono got ripped away from Tai, but luckily there is the one alien creature that was helping Kurono that decided that she was going to try to help Tai find him again, so we'll see what happens with that. You know, of course, the reunion couldn't last longer than a few pages. We have to tear them apart again, son of a bitch. But then it cuts to the other Kurono, who was with the Gantz team that exists right now. So there's Kato is there, Muscle Rider is there, and a couple of the other newer characters whose names I can't remember. Couple of the characters from the Osaka team, and they are just doing work, cutting down these creatures and whatnot, and they wind up winning except for one final creature. And Kurono, our main character, does exactly what Kurono would do. He tells them to go while he decides to fight this thing, and as they leave, Rika doesn't want to. Rika wants to stay by his side because she loves him, and it's genuine. It's genuine love and care. Rika really does care about Kurono, and as she goes there to get his back to help him, just the most devastating things happen over and over again. One is Kurono mentioning to her that he really wished he could have seen Tai again, because again, at the end of the day, these two Kuronos are the same character, and so obviously he would want to see Tai because he loves Tai. It doesn't matter that this version of him is going to be with Rika. It's who he is as a person. It's who he is inside. He still has those memories, still has those feelings, and even though he knows there's another version of him out there that's with Tai, he still loves Tai. And then Rika, hearing that, it just tears her up, because she loves Kurono. She wants him to be with her and to feel the same way about her that he feels about Tai, and she thought, you know, maybe finally she got it. Maybe finally with this version that she brought back, she got that. And there's always going to be that lingering sense within Kurono, and even though they're together, it's just, oh man. And then fucking, I can't even, man. I can't. There's been deaths that have affected me in Gantz. You know, the first time Kato died, the first time Tai died, right? And even though Gantz is a series where characters can be brought back, there still is that power of death that overtakes the story. And at this point, I don't believe there is a chance to bring characters back, at least not our main characters bringing characters back. So Kurono gets knocked out or something. I can't quite remember the chain of events, but Rika takes on the final alien, and off screen, and this is something Gantz doesn't do very often. Usually it shows every single bit of the battle and the gore and everything. But the alien's killed off screen, and when Kurono regains consciousness, he finds Rika just passed out and dead before him. she's not torn apart. She's not like ripped into pieces, which thank God. But he goes over to her, and in seeing that, you know, he does his best to revive her. He tries to give her CPR. He starts bawling his eyes out, and you realize that like Kurono also loves Rika, and it's like, you know, it's not just because Rika is like a supermodel with big tits and like super sexy and everything. It's like they went through life-changing experiences together. They went through war together, really. You know, they bonded together through fucking war. Unlike Tai and Kurono, who just bonded by being together in like the real world. And he can't bring her back, man, and it's just like so fucking devastating. And this is what I'm talking about, because like at the beginning of this volume I was all Kurono and Tai, and then at the end of this volume I'm like, I need Rika to be here. Rika is so important. She's so important to Kurono. I need them to be together. And it's just like, fuck. Like, what the fuck has this series done? I don't know. But he carries her back to the team in his arms, and I just, man, it was rough. I didn't want to see Rika go. I really didn't. So, any other loose ends in this volume? Nishi kind of hacks his way into the battle. He knows like the big mech suits are going towards this big tower that is in the center of the spaceship and everything, and he wants to be part of it. So he managed to somehow hack his way to it. I'm not really sure how he did that, but you know, it's Nishi, whatever. And then Hiroto, the psychic kid, you know, like I said, he's just kind of going off the rails. He's just destroying as much as he can with his psychic abilities, to the point where, you know, he's bleeding out of his nose and everything, like fucking, you know, 11 from Stranger Things, but worse. And then at the end of this volume, very, very curious, is he sees his teacher, the guy that taught him the psychic abilities. I can't remember this character's name. I don't know why. It's been a while since we've seen him. But he appears, and it's unsure if this is a vision or if Gantz has recreated him to help either motivate Hiroto or something like that. If Gantz has brought him back from the dead, who knows? But he has shown up now, so I don't know what's going on with that, but I'm very curious to find out. So, I cannot wait to finish this series. I'm so close. I might just do the last 3 volumes as a live reaction. It was going to be the last 2, but I really wish you guys could have seen my reaction to this volume, seeing my reaction to Rika's death and everything, because it was, I don't know, you probably would have laughed at me because I was like getting all emotional. Anyways, guys, so let me know what you think of this volume of Gantz. I believe it was 34. 3 left. I can't wait to finish this series. And let me know what you think. Comment down below, like the video, subscribe if you want to stick around. I'll talk to you in the next video.